Okay, well, welcome to your self portraits brainstorming session of pulling it together. So, you should have watched that video by Chuck Close first. And there's some great things that he talked about. Inspiration is for amateurs, just show up and do work. Eventually, you'll get somewhere. Everyone needs to feel special, with some things that I just noted down. And just to remind you all that you are special to me, and I enjoy seeing you all in my classroom or from a full distance, or usually sometimes it's only your art I'm seeing this year, which is still so special. So keep on working and just show up and do some work. So if you feel like you're getting blocks, don't worry about that. Just do some work. Start working and start trying to just process, maybe, if that's where how it takes you to somewhere where you're headed. But this video today, I'm going to kind of break it down, because one thing that Chuck Close said that I really like too in that video is, if you're overwhelmed by the size of a problem, break it down into many bite-sized pieces. So if you are needing a little guidance of breaking it down into bite-sized pieces, I thought I'd show you how I'm doing my self-portrait to get started. So you can see here, I kind of, from our last class, I kind of brainstormed like some things about me and kind of like, did I want to include myself? And I decided, yes, I did. And then I just thought about how the pandemic's been difficult for me. My routine is off this year. And it's just kind of a big struggle. So I really decided that I wanted to include myself with a mask. So I did find a photo of myself and printed that out. And then I decided that what has kept me going is things in nature. So I just really took some of my photos that I usually take when I'm out adventuring in nature, and I took some photos of those. So that's something that you can do to get started, is to think about, what you want to include, and then go find some images to get inspired by. So, because that sometimes can help you decide where you want to go. And then I kind of just started thinking about a little layout for myself, that I want to have my image off to the side. I want to do some drawings of plants. And really kind of my big story here that I'm going to talk about is how Earth is important to me. So it's going to be all about kind of the experience that I've been experiencing lately, and then adding in the elements of Earth. I have no idea where this is going to take me. I'm going to just start creating, but it's nice to kind of start with that little bite-sized pieces, right, of getting some pieces that inspire me, that keep me going. So today I'm going to start out by just showing you some skills in doing the portrait. One thing that you can do is you can draw your portrait freehand, which is what we've been practicing a lot in class. But another thing that you can do is you can get some graphite on the back of your printed out photo. Right on the back, get a good amount. And okay, so you can see I really got a good amount of graphite on my portrait on the back side. So really rubbing one way and the other way with your pencil. And then this is the paper that I decided to choose, this elongated paper with, a little bit shorter, so more of a landscape look is what I decided to go for. So I, in my sketch, did put that I'm going to have my portrait off to the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of tape this where I think I want it, like what angle, and tape that down, because you don't want this to move. And then what I can do is I can start doing some tracing. So I'll just get right into these spots where I can really see some line quality. And this is a great way to just document the shape of your portrait, get yourself grounded. You can go in and do the detail, the shadow, the light, on your own without, you would just trace the line here. And this is just to help you get a guide. It's similar to like if you were to grid out a photo, like Chuck Close does. He grids a photo, so you could do gridding if you wanted to. But this is just a real quick, simple way to get a transfer of your shape and your size of your portrait that you're looking for. So no matter kind of, what medium you might be using in the end, this is a great way to get just that simple outline documented so that you kind of feel confident, and then you can go and use your skills of drawing to really define every little detail in there. So I'm just going to transfer these things quickly. All right, and then so once you trace that outline, then you can just double check that you got what you wanted transferred onto there. So now I can just use my photo now and reference that and use my skills of looking for lights and darks on on this piece. So you can see I have some darks in my hair here that maybe I start to go back in with that, with getting that real darkness in my hair, and start working on that portrait. I can also go in and use black pen if that's what I would like to do instead of the pencil. So depending if you want to do more shading or you're going to do more line work, but this is a way that you can kind of really get that piece really dialed in. But still use your skills of drawing to go back in and define what you're really wanting to kind of define on your portrait with your drawing skills. But I'm not going to get this one going too far because I do want to kind of get some drawing and understand I don't want to develop this so much and then I forget to do this part of my idea. So I'm just going to kind of leave that light for today. And then I'm going to start thinking about, the other pieces that I have and drawing from inspiration here. So I'm going to start to do some drawings with that. I also have myself some extra pieces of paper too. So, I'm thinking like maybe I do some collaging, maybe I even glue paper so that it's off the top of my paper so that it's cut, like a shape comes up off and breaks this edge. So maybe I'm going to start to put some different images in here. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm just going to get started creating today, but I just wanted to give you all an idea of how to take kind of an idea of a big project and how to get started with your little pieces. So hopefully this helps a bit and breaks it down into some ideas that can help you get started. All right, I'm going to start doing some sketches and ideas from these and see where that takes me. Kind of put my final piece to the side for a second now that I got my portrait in and start doing some sketches. Right. I kind of like that I started to put a landscape here and now I'm back into my portrait. And I'm going to start to define it by adding some more darks and lights to this. So you can see that I'm just using the side of my pencil to add some shading and some dark and lights, using the line of my pencil to create sharper lines, like especially in the hair, and really kind of starting to develop this piece. So again, really referencing your photo. So reference the photo that you have if you're using one. If you're doing it from your imagination, that's fine too. But you're really kind of trying to get that detail in by using some shading. So going back and forth between lights, darks, and mid grays by using your eraser, your pencil, and your eraser, pencil, and blending. But you can also use, you can use any medium here. So if you wanted to develop your portrait with
with just a ballpoint pen, with a Sharpie. So that's your choice here, but I'm just going to show you quickly how I developed my piece with just using shading.
All right, you can see I've started to develop my drawing. So next class, I think I'll probably start doing some more techniques on showing some watercolor, some oil pastel, and colored pencils. So I'll work on those for next class, but hopefully this inspired you to get started on something. Again, you can do printing out your photos. If you need any support with printing and you're a hybrid student, you can send me images of that I can print for next time you're in class. Or you can just reference right on your laptop if that helps too. So, and again, you don't have to do the tracing thing. If you want to do some work with developing your portrait by just drawing it, do that. Or if you're not even doing a portrait, you can start drawing, but you're basically trying to get your pieces, thinking about what pieces and components, and don't be afraid to do multiple ones for this project and think about gluing on top of and breaking that regular square line. I look forward to seeing what you all come up with. Remember, break it down to bite-sized pieces.